You're watching the Microsoft US Health and Life Sciences Confessions of Health Geeks podcast, a show that offers industry insight from the health geeks and data freaks of the US Health and Life Sciences industry team. I'm your host, Claire Bonacy. On this episode, Tracy Picon, our HLS accessibility lead, discusses the importance of inclusive design and accessibility. So hi, Tracy. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so used to working with you on the behind the scenes part of the podcast, so it's great to have you on the other side as our HLS accessibility lead.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. It's very, very different to be on this side of things.
It really is. I know. I totally understand that. So let's jump in. So since I met you over a year ago, you've been very involved in accessibility at Microsoft. So how has your approach to accessibility changed over time?
When I first discovered accessible technology, my focus was on the features and functions. I wanted to educate everyone on how you could customize your machine via these functions and create a work environment that empowered everyone to work in their preferred way. And as I became more educated, I started to look more broadly at the power of accessible technology, and you start to notice that the proliferation of computing has shifted. So for years, the typical software user was an office worker, but today everyone has a connected device. Kids as young as 2, adults 92 use smartphones and tablets every single day. So it's really no longer just office workers using software. The scope and complexity of accessible technology has increased, and it's not sufficient for technologists to ask, how would someone in an office use technology? Because seriously, every role and every function of our economy is now a software user.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect point. And I love that you bring up that, everyone has it, whether it's kids, whether you're in school, it really has kind of hit every part of our world. So Do you have any examples of some tech-enabled health accessibility features or tools that you're most excited about?
I do. So let me set the stage. Health is really a great industry to focus on accessibility and driving innovation. We inherently have a community of people who need accessible technology. We have patients with accessible needs, maybe even for the first time due to an accident or an illness or a loss of function. And they need access to technology that supports them. And for many of our patients, two of the most important things to consider is communication with their caregivers and to be able to interact with the tech in their hospital room or at home. So any solution that uses software that enables people with accessibility needs to still use the software and interact with their caregiver is something that is really important. Okay, so what I'm most excited about that sort of hit the news recently is the future of what is being created, or really perhaps maybe what has yet to be created. The innovations that people are creating to tackle some of health's biggest challenges, it's astounding. So this year at the 2020 Imagine Cup Hackathon, the innovation in the health space was astounding. For example, so this is not all the winners, but I'll give you a couple of examples. One team created a digital mental health companion for younger generations. And what they found was that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but younger generations, given this new work from home scenario that we're in, younger generations were really missing they were a gap in accessing mental health capabilities. Another team focused on detecting early onset Parkinson's disease and then easing the process of virtual appointments to track the disease's progression. And then finally, another team created a mobile app designed for the well-being of both the Alzheimer's patient and their caregiver. So there's so much innovation happening in the health and life sciences space, and I'm so excited to see what we create to support patients and their families and caregivers and clinicians and really our greater communities.
Well, no, I love that you bring that up because this is such a new normal that we're living in. So having these accessibility features and having the ability to change up how we work is really important. Yep. So I know that accessibility is very personal to you and you take it very seriously, which I love. Do you mind sharing a time when others were resistant to talking about accessibility or inclusive design and how you addressed it?
Yeah, sure. So what I have found to be some of the most common objections around accessibility is one, a fear of saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. And then two, that accessibility seems so undefined, so big and arduous. So The fear of saying the wrong thing or not knowing what to say or being unsure how to interact, people need to have patience and grace with themselves and to be educated, because ultimately the fear is addressed through education and creating allyship, being an ally to all. And the perception that accessibility is so big and undefined, I think when people start to understand that so much of the technology we use every single day was created for the disability community, and that this tech is ubiquitous part of our daily lives now, we start to pull back the curtain. Whether you use digital assistants or the microphone on your mobile, or design features within the software, or reading closed captions at your favorite restaurant, those are all examples of technology created for the disability community that have modern functions, and we really use them every day. So understanding that building technology with accessibility at the forefront leads to innovation for all, starts to dissipate the resistance. I think it boils down to educating yourself on disability etiquette and breaking down the black box of accessibility into bite-sized pieces are really two ways to knock down any blockers or barriers, and then we can move forward.
These features are really, they are for everyone. Even I know I've heard you give this example of the button to open a door for an automatic door. You know, you're going to use that whether you're holding a bunch of things or if you are disabled. So it really is for everyone, which is a great thing to point out.
Yeah.
And to close out, I'd love to hear your take on one thing that you think will be an accessibility standard 10 years from now that isn't already.
So the advancements in natural language processing will enable truly intelligent digital assistants, and that will be able to assist all people across all abilities. When we can interact with computers with the same fidelity that we have when we use a keyboard and a mouse, then the more accessible software will be for the masses. I am really excited for the advancements in human-computer interactions. When we design for inclusivity, it opens up products and experiences to a wider range of people. And really our job is to lower barriers to participation and to reflect the diversity of our society.
I'm so excited to see what happens in the next 10 years, and I know that we'll be a part of it. So thanks so much, Tracy. And one thing that I did not prep you for, but do you want to give a quick plug for the Ability Summit next week?
Sure. So next week is Microsoft's 10th anniversary of the Ability Summit. This year it will be held virtually. It will be 2 half days starting Wednesday, May 27th and Thursday afternoon, May 28th. And really the Ability Summit is about community and innovation and bringing those two together. It supports our disability communities, allies, and accessibility professionals. So it's going to be a great event. Please register if you want to attend, and I'll look forward to seeing you there.
Great. Well, thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing everyone there as well, since I will be attending too.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching. Please feel free to leave us questions or comments below, and check back soon for more content from the HLS industry team.